Hello everyone, welcome back to Into the Glory Hole. It's me, Matt, once again, and this week I have my good friend Syntax, aka Great Viable Citizen, and if he wants to disclose his actual name, I'll let him do so.
Yeah, sure. It's James.
James, hello James.
Hello, Matt.
James is bringing the Dread Pageant with him today against me. I was just saying to him before I hit record that outside of playing Laws and her Dread Pageant, I haven't actually played Dread Pageant, and you've never played Not the Spoilers, aka these guys.
No, that's right. Yeah, so it's gonna be a game that's informed by a great depth of knowledge.
Have you seen any like battle reports and stuff? Like Agents have done a couple of games with them, haven't they?
Yeah, I haven't actually. No, I'm not able to watch too many battle reports at the moment because life. But
Yeah.
No, so I haven't seen them in action really at all. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they do, and not a little bit concerned about showing myself up in front of the whole internet. But there we go. Let's see how we go.
I'm not to big myself up or anything, but this series is quite possibly my most watched series, so I'm a bit hit that you haven't seen any of my videos yet, but it's fine. I forgive you.
Well, in fairness, I think I've seen half of two of them.
So one game then, so that's alright.
Yeah.
What we're gonna do is, sorry, go on.
Nothing. I was just going to say that it would have been cheating, surely, to watch you play two games. And know your deck inside out.
Yeah, it's true. Good point. I had to say it to who did I play last? Marlo. Because obviously he was the second game, and I did a deck review and where I changed my deck and stuff and talked about it. And I said you can't watch this video because that's spoilers. So he came in blind, bless him, and he brought eyes on the 9, and it was a bit of a. I mean, he actually swung it back. I think the final score was 17-12, but literally until the third end phase, it was like 17-4.
Oof.
So he crept up on me, and I was squeaky bum time at one point. So
Getting worried at the end there.
Yeah, because I didn't score anything. I discarded my first hand and then proceeded to score the next 7 objectives. And then I had my final 2 objectives and I just couldn't score him because of weight. He stacked Vortimus, he had like 4 defense dice and he was re-rolling because of Yara's instant shield, and I just couldn't hit Vortimus for love of money. And he also had hidden presence, so I couldn't even gambit him to death. So it was frustrating for me, but I got the win, so who cares?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I feel like the Dread Pageant are a little bit Eyes of the 90 in the sense that half of my warband is paper thin and will just fall over as soon as you look at them, and I'm going to be relying, I think, probably on some jank to see me through here, which is very Eyes of the 90. So if it works out, I'll be pleased with myself.
Have you played much of the pageant before?
I think I played 3 games against a friend of mine playing Crushers, and so far in the history of me playing games against Crushers, I've won 1 game in total, and none of those 3 games that we played were the 1 game that I won. So
good.
Yeah, so I think my loss rate with Dread Pageant is 100%. So obviously I've brought my A game to your Grand Clash practice here.
Yeah, well, it can't go much worse than my game against Sparky and his Gits, where I missed my first 3 attacks and then he just ran rampant with scoring everything.
Yeah, that was the one of the 2 games that I saw half of.
Oh, right, okay.
But even the kind of half of it that I saw, it didn't look like it was going to.
It was brutal. I mean, I also realised at the end of the game that I was bringing my Vanguard deck for the Agents League, so that's why the deck was absolutely shit. I brought in the wrong deck, so that was never going to be a fun game.
It's tough building a Vanguard deck because you don't have any of the push tech really.
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult. Yeah.
But yeah, so it'd be interesting to see. I'm quite tempted to, once this series finishes, because it's going to culminate against either Aman, Rob, or potentially somebody else, depending on how busy they are. Like proven winners, like Grand Clash winners, ideally. after that game, after the series is culminated, going back with this home deck against the people that I lost to see how I then compete against, like how I compare. If that makes sense. So
Yeah, that's a good idea. It's a good idea.
but yeah, so what we're going to do, we are going to fast forward through our life and set up, and then before you know it, we'll be ready to rumble. So see you in a bit. Hey guys, Matt here from the future. Hi. Did you know that 66% of you aren't subscribed? That to me is a little bit baffling. Not baffling, but like, wow. Incredible, really. If you are reading this, or enjoying this, not reading it, you're watching it with your eyes. If you're enjoying this content, then please really do consider subscribing. It's just a little click for you, but it means the world to me and Loz watching that number creep up. So thank you so much everybody who has subscribed, and for people who are subscribing after this video, thank you for joining me. This series has been crazy popular for this channel. It's not ripping up any form books, but for me it's nuts. So like I said, thank you so much everyone for your comments and your advice and obviously your views. I'm really enjoying making this series, and I'm just so pleased that people are enjoying it as well. This is also a shout out to our lovely Patreon supporters, our glory holers. So that will be AOS Pete, AOS Robin, Andrew Marlowe, Higgy Bear, Rob Watson / Sparky, Darren Walker, and Jamie Eden. Thank you so much, guys. It's really nice of you to financially back us, and it makes me feel like a professional outfit, so I can't really thank you enough. If you'd like to support this channel and become a glory hole yourself, you can do so for £2.50 a month. Welcome back everybody. So as you can see, we are ready to rumble. The objective numbers don't count, but the lethal hexes are here. Neither of us have really placed aggressively. I suppose I've placed it as aggressively as I can, because you offset, but then you've sat back a bit, for want of a better term.
Yeah, I'm scared. I'm hiding at the back.
Fair. It's understandable. I won the roll-off to go first with 2 crits, despite James placing before me, so that's quite handy. And I am not gonna go first.
Ooh. Okay. Oh man. I have to decide on things.
I didn't want to think.
No, I don't. It's terrible. It's terrible, this thinking business. All right, let's. I'll quit stalling then and make a decision about what I'm doing. I think we're gonna do something potentially quite silly, but Glissette's gonna charge. She's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4 to you.
Bonjour.
And just gonna have a go at Kagra. So 2 dice on swords.
Oof.
Oh, the double hammer. It's the roll we all wanted to see.
You know it, you love it.
Okay, that's that. And then in the power step, I think I'm going to play distraction. Just going to burn all my resources straight off.
Yeah.
And shove Kagra back there.
Okie dokie.
No free hits for you unless you're willing to burn a sidestep. Which you might be.
I don't know. I'll do Nightmare in the Shadows instead.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Because you can still be pushed, but you can't be driven back because you're on guard, isn't it? That's correct.
That's right, yeah.
So here.
Ooh, disappointing. Oh well, at least that's out of the way.
Yes, please. I'm not going to be able to do it now, so I'll tell you what I was going to think of doing. Actually, no, I can't tell you just yet, because I have other cards I would have played. Any cards for you?
No.
Okay, so in my first activation, I'm going to it's really frustrating that you put her there because that blocks him off as well. The only movement of 3 when I'm not inspired. I will. Bloody hell. I'm here. I'll attack Kagra against Glazette. Just do a basic attack.
Yeah, it's what the people want to see.
One success.
One success. One success.
Cool. I'm not going to push you back.
Why ever
And
not?
what do you mean? And I'm not going
This
to
is
play any.
outrageous.
I'm not going to play any cards.
Second. So I think I'm just going to move Hadzu onto objective 1.
I see.
And in the power step, I play nothing.
Yeah. I'm not going to play any cards. So then for my second, I'm going to attack with Zasha onto Glazette with her range attack. So she's hitting on lightnings, and that's it. And crits, obviously. 2 successes. Oof.
Oh, nothing. Nothing.
And damage.
And damage.
And then push you back on to number 2.
Okay. In which case, immediately after your activation,
Oh.
I score hidden purpose.
Ah, you jerk. I see how it is.
And then power for you?
Nothing for me.
Nothing for you. Let's see here. I will pass as well. So my third.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll just put Vassal onto here as a move action.
Cool.
And pass in the power step.
Pass for me. So then for my third, I'm gonna charge of Kagra to here.
Yep. Oh no!
That's
Got crit.
That's what I want to see.
Crit shield.
Damn. Okay. This is proving difficult.
And then power step for you.
Nothing for me.
I think I will pass as well, so that's going to take me to my fourth.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to move Slake Slash onto objective 5. And then in the power step, I will pass.
All that regret. Yeah, pass for me. So then, for my fourth, I'm going to charge with Razek. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Sorry.
1, 2, 3. Yep.
And he's 2 dice, hammers, and singles and crits.
Oh, crit hammer. Okay, it's going to need another good defense roll. No, Glisset.
Okay, so that is a glory token.
Well, she soaked up some damage. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, exactly. In the power step, I'm gonna put bolstered by hate on Kagret. Plus one wounds.
I say. Okay.
It's actually quite funny because in the Age of Sigmar game, there's a command trait called bolstered by hate, and it's literally +1 wounds.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah, so I play that card in my power step.
Okay, and I'm going to play Feign Strength and gain the primacy token.
Nice.
And when I do that, I score Surge of Aggression.
Yeah. I do always think about adding in that card because it's pretty handy just to get the token.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good personally.
I mean, if you have it and you have Surge, it's not auto score, isn't it? So, Surge of Aggression, sorry, it's auto score.
And then
Pass again.
Power back to you.
Pass.
You pass again. Okay.
Yeah.
I pass as well.
So then end phase.
Scoring. So I went first, didn't I?
You did.
So I just score excessive indolency because I'm on 2 objectives.
Cool. Oh, because he killed Glizette, he has sacrifice actions, so that's desecrated.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Apologies.
No worries. And then I will play Savage Strength on Vassalak. Or will I? I don't know. No, I'm going to play Savage Strength on Slake Slash.
That's yeah. Okay, cool.
And I'm going to play Mark of the Dark Prince on Slake Slash as well.
Nice.
And then I will. I think I'm just going to draw up. No, I'm going to discard Cavalcade of Madness, and then I'll draw up.
Okay. I don't score anything. And I'm gonna keep my 3 cards, which is bold beyond measure, but yeah. I'm going to discard Grudging Defense, which is put somebody on guard. I'm gonna keep my other 2, and I'm gonna draw up.
Alrighty.
So we run off. Ugh, nothing. You win on a single.
I get a single. Nice. Interesting. So, I suppose the first question is, when do I remove a desecration token?
You have to end
In a power step.
in a power step, yeah.
In a power step. I think. I think I'll go second.
Okay. So, for my first activation, I'm going to move Dara Kragan onto number 3. Did I just say my second activation? My first activation. It's been a long day.
Activation the first.
Yeah. So yeah, then in the power step, I am not going to play any cards.
Okay, in the power step, I'm going to put the Amberbone Sword on Mr. Slash.
Mm-hmm.
Anything for you?
No.
And then I'm going to play Cruel Pangs and do a damage to Dow Kragan.
Okay. No cards for me.
And then let me think about this. No, then I'll pass. Oh, will I? No. Oh wait, sorry. I'm going to play Restless Prize.
Okay.
And I'm going to move objective 3, 1, 2 to there.
Cool.
We're going to burn all the assets right away. It's the only sensible option. Back to you.
Nothing.
Alright, and then on to my first. I'm going to charge a Slake Slash. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 to there.
Oh.
There we go. And so Zash is 3. Yeah, so he's going to have a go with the Amber Bone Sword. So 3 hammers for 3 damage. And crit.
Critical death. No.
It is death. So I gain a B.
And primacy, yeah.
From
Oh, you're breaking up with me.
score Swift Capture.
Nice. Well played.
And that's it. Over to you.
Okay, I am not going to play any cards. I presume you're not either. Okay, for my second, I'm going to discard Malevolent Exploits and draw it.
Cool. Power cards for you?
Nothing for me.
I don't think I'm going to do anything either, so my second...
Mm-hmm.
Let me have a look here. I think I'm going to discard Rested Dominance and draw a new objective.
Mm.
And then I will pass in the power step.
I'm going to play Spectral Wings.
Ooh.
Anything in return?
Let me think about that. No, I think I have to pass.
Okay.
Luga.
For my third, I'm going to charge with Kagrat. So she moves 5 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right. This is where the paper-like nature of this warband's gonna come and bite me. Unless
I mean, I have to.
dice roll.
Yeah, I have to hit first. That's yeah. So,
Oh, wound down.
yeah.
Absolute crisis.
Yeah, that's great. That's probably gonna be game at this point.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Cards for you?
Nothing for me.
I think I will. Yeah, no cards for me either. So my third.
Mm-hmm.
What to do here? think I will charge with Vassal. He'll go 1, 2, 3 to there. Oh,
Yeah, hang on.
you got it.
Yeah, I
you got it.
Yeah, I didn't see you put one down for me.
I know it. And he will. Yeah. So 2 dice looking for hammers. Here we go. 1 hammer.
Goes through. Yeah, sums up my game.
2 damage, and I'll shove you over there.
Ouch.
And then, so I will pass in the power step.
I'm gonna pass. So then for my 4th, I'm going to charge Razek to here.
Yep.
So he's 2 dice. Ooh, 2.
2 hits. Very good. No.
2 damage.
2 damage.
I'm not gonna push you.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage in total.
It's just 5 damage in. Oh, it is. Yeah. Well, okay.
It's got to be 6.
Ah.
So
I didn't. I always forget if it's just you or just on the board. It's just on the board, isn't it?
yeah. But it's not enough unless. But I don't think I'm willing to do this just yet. Sorry, power cards for you?
No, nothing.
No, I'm going to play Fueled by Sensation. And heal
There you go. Yeah.
1 damage.
Oh, okay.
from Slake Flesh.
Interesting.
I care more about him being alive at the moment than I do about inspiring the other guys. Really, he's the A game. He's where it's at. All right. And then my.
Oh, hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, you just cut out then.
Oh, that's weird. My 4th.
Yes.
All right. I think I'm gonna have to do this. Oh, that's awkward, isn't it? Pay more attention to your objectives. Hansu is going to charge. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 onto here.
Okay.
And he's going to have a pop at Razek with his little bow. So 3 dice. It's reasonably accurate. 3 dice needing swords and singles. Haha!
So I need a crit. I don't get a crit.
Oh. So 1 damage, and I will shove you somewhere. Where will I shove you? Over there.
Because you can push them any way you want with the Heart Seeker bow, is it? Or
Yeah.
Oh. Arrows of Desire, so yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4 still at the moment. That's cool. That's cool. And then in the power step, I will pass.
I'm gonna pass. So I went first. I'm going to. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. No. Sorry. Carry on.
I'm not gonna score anything.
Oof.
Yeah. I'm gonna discard Show of Force. And I'm gonna keep the other 2 and draw up. Still not great. And in regards to my cards, I'm gonna discard Mask of Darkness because I'm not.
Oh, sorry.
going to.
I've missed a trigger, but I should have scored Endless Revel immediately after that activation.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, take it. No problem.
So get that, and then what else have we got going on? So then I score Excess of Avidity and Dominant Position.
Oof.
For 4.
Jeez. Right, yeah, like I said, this is a game. I shouldn't have held on to my cards as long as I did.
And we had that conversation, didn't we? Like, if you think you probably shouldn't, then definitely don't.
It's because I had 3 of my Surges in my hand.
Yeah. Oh no.
And
that's
they're
horrible.
arguably decent surges. And then because I had spectral wings, I thought I could just missile Kagura up and boop
Yeah.
Hadzu, and I'll be laughing. But then I rolled 2 singles. What can you do?
And I get 1 from primacy as well.
Sure.
Cool. And then I'll draw up.
I'm going to discard Savage Speed and draw up as well.
All right. Round 3.
Yeah. It's a formality at this point, but
I have a crit and nothing.
a crit, a single, and a double.
The choice is yours.
I'm going to go first. I'm gonna charge Kagura back to over here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And where's my tokens gone?
You did exactly what was asked of you. You are needed no longer.
Yeah. One success.
Unless he can roll something. No, he's dead.
So then that's a... Well, yeah, it disappeared, but then it's gone back again. I thought the token looked a bit weird. I picked up the entire place stack. There you go. Because of...
Do you win a primacy token?
I get primacy. I score Surge of Aggression and Savage Exemplar as well.
Ooh, very nice. Kagura's done a charge.
Correct. Why are you misbehaving? So that was a 3 glory swing, so that's palatable.
Pretty good.
In the power step, I'm going to do... Great Fortitude on... it doesn't really make a difference, does it? Dara Kragan. So it's plus 1 wound. Anything for you?
Let me see. Yeah, I'm going to play Dark Desires. So you can either give Dower Kragan a move token, or I can push him 1.
I'll give him a move token.
Anything for you?
Nothing for me.
I'm going to play Sidestep. My boy over there.
You
He's taking
peen.
the objective with him, isn't it? That's no good.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's not quite right. And no cards for me.
I will pass as well at that point, I think.
No, I dropped 2 cards for my scoring these 2, didn't I?
Oh yeah. So my first.
Yes.
So got a bit of a camera issue going on. Yeah, Slake Slash is just going to try and hit your boy Razak there. So 3 dice, leading swords for 3 damage.
Ooh,
Ha! Not a thing.
whiff.
Outrageous. I think at this point I'm going to play Formidable Defense on Slake Slash.
Cool.
Not like that. What have I done?
So
Let me
I
choose everyone.
in the previous activation I scored 2 surges and then I drew gather momentum. Would I not score that now because I've scored 2 surges in the phase?
I think you do. Yeah.
Because it's not like after an activation, it just happens.
Yeah, I think that's right.
If you're happy, I'm happy.
Any cards for you?
No cast for me.
In which case, you're second.
Oh, actually, dormant cards because it is my second. How many wounds does Slake Slash have left?
4.
So I'm gonna put Ruinous Might on Razek. Plus 1
Ooh,
damage.
Okay.
Oh, that's not what I wanted.
Yeah.
Anything for you?
No.
And great strength on him as well.
Oh, no. All right.
And I'm going to. Yeah, I'll just try and boop in the maze wall because you haven't charged, have you?
No. I have not.
Doesn't make a difference if I charge or attack. If I miss, I miss. I'll boop you because if you don't manage to kill me, if I don't kill you, I still get a second chance technically. Whereas if I charge and don't, so 2 dice looking for hammers.
Alrighty.
1.
Ooh, 1 hammer, 2 dice looking for shields.
Ugh.
Shield crit.
Ah dear. I did a mistake.
Oops.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm an idiot.
Cards for you.
Nothing for me.
So my second.
Same again, I presume.
Yeah, I think so. I'm on -1 dice this time, so I'm only on 2 dice. So I'm stifling myself a bit, but I think I've got to go for it. So 2 dice needing swords. Oof.
Dead.
Outrageous.
This is third turn, isn't it?
It's what? Sorry.
This is third round.
It is. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm a fucking idiot. I got a card where if I move on to a objective, I can play Ritual Desecration, which would have then put a token down. That would have scored me Brutal Desecration. That would have also inspired Razek.
Oh no. Outrageous.
Yeah, I'm an idiot.
Alright, well I pass in the power step.
That was only my first activation. Yeah, I pass.
Over to you for your second.
I'm gonna draw a power card.
Alrighty. Playing anything?
No.
Alright, me either. So my third, I'm going to draw a power card. And I pass in the power step.
Cool. My third, I'm gonna draw a card. And pass.
Alrighty, and my fourth, I'm going to draw a power card. And pass.
And for my fourth, I'll do the same because why not?
And in your fourth power step, I'm going to play Mischievous Spirits.
Okay.
And move this objective under Slate Slash. Oh, sorry. Over to you for objective shenanigans.
No, it's not, I can't do anything, so pass.
Oh yeah, but you've got to move the objectives because
Oh right, yeah.
Mischievous. Oh, not the board, not the board.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll move this one over here.
Is that locked? Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll move that one over there. Cool. And then passes all round.
You can't put objectives into lethal hexes anymore, can you? They changed
No.
that, right? Yeah, because I couldn't do anything with that. No, nothing.
Alrighty. That's end of round 3. Scoring for you.
Nothing.
Ooh. I score absolute stillness and underdog for 4.
You get underdog? Oh, because I had primacy.
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
That was an absolute shit show by me.
Oh, it was a bit savage, wasn't it?
I think I feel like I misplayed every single option I had.
I think in fairness, there were a couple of really critical dice rolls that went my way there. Even just things like so Glissette died, but that was kind of fine. I was okay with that. She did her job because she ate up a couple of activations when we kind of wailed on her.
Mm-hmm.
Slake Slash survived when he needed to. Hadsu survived when he needed to.
Yeah.
I was able. I think every combat roll that I needed to go my way went my way, and that definitely helped a lot. Because then,
in that play then where this was here, if I had charged here, even if I whiffed, I would have played Ritual Desecration to desecrate that token. That would have scored me Brutal Desecration.
Yeah.
So then I would have drawn another card. That would have been Glorious Slaughter, which is 3 or more enemy fighters out of action. Yeah, I wouldn't have scored that if the game had played out as it had anyway. I had Raised Realm, which was have two hexes with 2 objectives with desecration tokens. I'm not convinced at the moment with that card because it's only 1 glory.
Let's have a look. So it's 2. I quite like it. See, I kind of think that under different circumstances in this game, that would have been a relatively easy score. There were definitely moments where getting 2 tokens on the board, like you were odds on to kill Hadzu, and that would have been a second desecration.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, that's true.
I think, like I say, I think a couple of really critical rolls went my way, and that's just dice. But
okay.
I'd say the one thing is I was surprised that you won the roll off and took boards. I kind of feel like maybe I get the logic, but I mean you're not to know this, but my deck's very much a kind of hold 2 style. But I think anybody who's playing objectives these days kind of is. Everybody's playing hold 2. So I'm not really hugely disadvantaged by only having the 2 objectives on my side, and because I was able to kind of offset like that, it sort of dictated the terms of play, because I sort of offset and then shove Glissette in your face, and then your options are attempt to kill Glissette, which is hard, or ignore her, which isn't ideal because she can just then sit on objectives and be a pain.
Yeah, and so, obviously in this situation where Glissette is a juicy target because she's on an objective as well, so I can sacrifice her.
So I think that the trouble with picking boards was you kind of allowed me to do exactly what I wanted to do, which was basically spend round 1 getting everybody stood on objectives and getting Glissette right up in your face, and that kind of meant that, well, I mean, if you kind of look at the sort of disposition of your forces at the end of the game, that's not really where they want to be.
They want to be all up in your territory.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm kind of assuming they want to be all up in my face, so I think the choice of placing boards was interesting in this case. What was the thinking?
In my limited experience, it's just been a case of being able to dictate where the objectives go tends to help.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
So that was the sacrifice I was making in having to go first, because I always play wide regardless. I'm I'm a stickler
Yeah,
for it.
yeah.
But yeah, it's not the end of the world if people do stagger against me.
No, I
But
think you.
in
I
this
think you've
case,
got the.
like I say, in this case, it was just a combination of I, don't- I'm always loath to blame my dice because dice are the same for everyone, and it makes me feel like I'm just being a shitty loser. Because I mean, I'm happy to admit that I fucked up that game in several steps. Even in the case, like I said, where I failed hitting Hadzu and whatnot. But
Yeah, I think dice rolls helped me. I think there were probably still points there though where you could have kind of made up for that. I think probably I don't know.
the lack of accuracy buffs that this warband has, and I think that there aren't many that exist in the game at the moment anyway. I got victimized in my hand to assist because it's +1 dice.
Mhm.
But I just checked then, and that was my last card. So I was arguably not going to be getting this card this game because I have no deck cycle cards.
Yeah, no, the lack of accuracy is tricky. I guess I was kind of surprised, like, because I was really putting off moving Slake Slash up until I really had to, because he's such a kind of useful piece.
Yeah.
I think, once if you can get rid of Slake Slash, the rest of the warband, Vassal and I never moves beyond 1 dice defense, and the other 2 only have 2 wounds, so they really are kind of paper thin. And I guess I was again a little bit surprised that when I moved Slake Slash up, you didn't just immediately get in his face. I mean, I kind of I know why you went for Hadzu, and actually I would have done exactly the same, because you were odds on to kill him in 1 shot, which gives you primacy, which gives you the desecration token.
Yeah, and it was a free through glory kill effectively.
So that was absolutely the right thing to do, and I can't quite remember sort of what happened after that, but I'm surprised that your other pieces didn't just hack Slake Slash to bits before he had a chance to kind of do anything.
So at the time, he was here, and he didn't have a token. He played that ploy that made me choose between either being pushed or I should have let you push, thinking about it, because I could still charge in.
Yeah, I think absolutely that would have been the thing to do there, and then because I think if you can drop Slake Slash, that game looks very different at the end there.
Yeah, because at the time I had what have I got? I got rack for land, which is desecrate a token. It wasn't there, was it? It was like over here. So it was like that, wasn't it? More or less. I can't remember now. Oh yeah, because this is up here. I'm being dense. But yeah, rack for land. So I would have flipped another objective. I would have then potentially moved on to here and played brutal desecration. Oh, not brutal desecration. Ritualize. The one where this one over here. Ritual desecration. So then everybody would have been inspired. So even though Slake Slash was wailing, Razek was then 2 defense dice. Admittedly, Kragan would have been a juicier target, but he's on 5 wounds, so it would have been. I would have at least made a fist out of it, but again, it was just my poor decision making, and that's not much else I can do about it, really. I mean, there is. I can get better, get good
just
scrub.
Just differently.
Yeah, but every time I made a choice in that game, I almost immediately regretted it in my mind, and then you punished me for it effectively. So it was a very, very bitter game for me, but at the same time it was all my errors, so what can you do? Well, again, you get better, but at least like I said, I'm always loath to just flippantly blame my dice, and that's the end of it, because you're rolling the same dice as me effectively.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I do think at critical moments the dice help me out there, but equally I kind of agree with you. Like, it's a game about dice, and dice can let you down, but I think I would argue that, and I don't in any way rate myself among these ranks, but I would argue that the best players who consistently place top in tournaments do so because they can mitigate against that. they can, you'll always have the odd game where your dice rolls are so terrible that you just lose, and that's the way it goes sometimes. But a truly kind of world-class player, I think, can have a couple of critical dice rolls go against them and still win because they make the right decisions and do the right thing. You can at various points in the game's history, passive scoring decks have been hugely successful. It's a game where you don't have to roll any dice to score a whole load of glory.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, that's not necessarily true of the old not to spoilers. Well, Ravages.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to have some dice go your way with those, I think. But,
the only saving grace they have is that they are accurate. But I mean, not in this game. But then at the same time, the proven winners who do win, not game in game out, but like consistently win. They're playing best of 3 formats. So if we were to play this best of 3, and I'm not going to commit because I'm tired, I dare say that the second game wouldn't go anywhere near as. I mean, it wasn't that one-sided. I suppose it was 12 points. It did feel one-sided. But yeah, a second game, I feel like I would have had a better grip at it.
Definitely.
That's always a case of game 2, because you by that point also you'd know my game as well. So it's a double-edged sword, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so. Although I'm not sure how much, because I kind of expected you to need to do certain kinds of things. Like I feel like you're going to need to kill people, and so that avoiding you just being able to kind of attack me at will was part of my strategy there. I kind of feel like, I mean, certainly in game 2, I expect you'd probably, if we had a game 2, you'd probably look to put me under a lot more pressure. I in some ways I really expected you to just get straight up in my face and be kind of, shoving me off objectives and killing my little guys and beating up on Slake Slash. And I don't think I kind of that kind of pressure never came. And coming back to the dice, I think the thing is, like, the more attacks you make, the more chances there are that they'll land.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So because actually it was a game without that many attack actions in it, really.
No, there wasn't. No.
So in a game 2, I think if you got right up amongst me early, I'd have to play completely differently, and I'd be really vulnerable. I wouldn't be able to just sit on a heap of objectives and score 2 copies of dominant position in one round and things like that.
Yeah. What was your opening hand?
I mean, it was good, actually. To be fair, I had a great opening hand. Well, let's go back and have a look at what I had. So so I had Surge of Aggression and Hidden Purpose, and I knew I could score both of those because I had Hidden Purpose, because of the way deployment and everything had worked out, that was, and it's basically a gimme anyway. And then Surge of Aggression, I had what's that card called now? Feign Strength. So I knew straight away I'm scoring. So I know no matter what, basically, I've got 2 glory at the end of round 1, possibly more if I draw into some nice things, which I think I did, because then I scored. I think I drew into Excessive Indolency. Yeah.
Yep.
As a result of those, so I scored 4 for kind of not really doing anything very much at all, and I had all my tech kind of in the opening hand, really, because I had Feign Strength, I had Distraction, I had Cruel Pangs, I had the Amber Bone Sword, so it was a strong opening hand, actually, and that's always good, because it allows you to play the game that you want to play.
So my opening hand was this.
Let's spin this around and have a look here.
So I had Show of Force, which I was counting on just rushing in, but then it didn't pan out at all. And then Malevolent Exploits, which just play 3 power cards, and then Sage of Aggression. So I was always quite comfortable doing Sage of Aggression, but arguably I should have just got rid of it.
I think so. That's a tricky hand to call, I think, because I can't remember exactly how you were deployed, but I'm not sure. Even with Spectral Wings, could you have hit Show of Force? Could you have got everybody in my half?
I was more or less like this.
think you might have struggled to get everybody in. Oh no.
So he could have gone there, he could have gone there, and then spectral wings around.
And then you're one adrift, aren't you?
Yeah.
Or is it just 3, not everybody?
It's just 3.
Oh, okay, yeah, so you could have done that. Yeah.
But then
See,
Glizette came here and it derailed me. I probably shouldn't have gone for that target.
And to be fair, that was exactly kind of my game plan, was essentially just shove Glissette in and hope that she's enough of a distraction. But I think if that had been your opening move with that hand, so you score show of force. The only thing that nixes that a little bit is that it's not too difficult for me to just run up and shove you back out. I know it's score immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, so to be fair, if you'd done that straight off, you'd almost certainly have got show of force, which gets you out of the blocks. Surge of aggression, depending on the timing of things, because I was going to have to move on to objectives, and I was going to have to use Hadzu, so in fact you might have been able to gank Hadzu in turn 1 as well with Surge of Aggression. And then going into round 2, you're right in my face, and then I'm in real trouble, because I've got literally nowhere to go. So I think if you'd played that opening hand that way, it would have been a very different game.
So round 2, I had Kagura here and Razek was here, and Hadzu was on there. And obviously he was going to go over here. Because I still had Spectral Wings in hand at that point. I was contemplating charging Kagura up, and then Spectral Wings in him around. But then you pushed Kagura back, and that just derailed me completely. I just didn't adjust whatsoever. It probably still would have been the smarter move. I mean, I did it eventually, but I think I took one too many rounds to do it, or activations to do it.
But like I say, I actually think, looking at your opening hand now, I actually think I would have kept that. And I think what I'd have aimed to do is just what we've discussed. I'd have aimed to get everybody straight into my half, score a couple of quick points, and then you can chuck a couple of upgrades down, and from round 2 onwards, then you're dictating the game. There's nowhere for me to go, and I'm not going to be able to stand up to 3 Chaos Warriors punching me in the face.
Zasha, I find either is absolute shit or ridiculously great. And you killed her pretty sharpish with Snake Slash. And that stopped me arguably scoring Malevolent Exploits, because I had another Gambit in hand at that point. And another how do they call Gambits? The spells.
Yeah, she's just a bit of a soft target, I think, is the trouble.
Yeah.
I'd be inclined. I know there are a couple of kind of utility spells where you kind of want to keep her close to your Chaos Warriors, but in some ways I'd be inclined to ignore that, shove her at the back, and just have everybody else run forward.
Yeah. So I'm quite tempted to remove Malevolent Exploits, because it does depend on your hand too much, and because I don't have any what they call draw tech, because draw tech requires you to hold objectives, and Razek and Darrow Kraken can't hold objectives.
Yeah. Plus, also, it's interesting.
Oh no, they can hold objectives. What am I about? It just happens at the end of the round.
I kind of think unless the only reason I kind of take draw tech is if I'm running something like the to the end Avatar of the Beastgrave kind of combo, then definitely. Or equally, if I'm relying on certain fighters getting particular cards or combinations of things happening, then I take draw tech. I have to say though, otherwise I'd rather just have actually useful cards in there. I find the strategic cost of being forced to move on to objectives when you don't want to move on to objectives, and or giving your opponent a free power card, I just find that cost too high personally. So I'm not a big fan of card draw unless you stand to score points off it, basically.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I was contemplating it, because I'm going to be moving on to objectives invariably throughout the game. So
that's true, but the only thing I found about that personally is it's kind of a matter of not wanting your card. For me, it's a matter of not wanting my card hand to dictate to me when I move on to objectives, and I just found that once too often with draw cards. I was just like, I don't want to do this now. I'd much rather have a sidestep or a distraction in my hand than a frantic search.
Yeah, that's fair.
Is the bottom line.
Okay, I'm gonna go home and I'm already. I'm gonna go to bed and cry now. So.
All right. Well, we'll have to have a rematch. We'll have to do this one.
No, I'm retiring. Fuck this game.
All right. Well, look, thanks for inviting me into this series, because I think it's really cool, and good luck with the next game.
Yeah, thank you. I do appreciate you coming on. I got a lot of time. We talk like all the errors. Like we talk quite frequently. On obviously the Discord and whatnot. And I've always got time for what you have to say. You're quite reasonable in your decisions, and I tend to agree. So I'm always happy to have a game with you. Oh, cool! I was talking to myself.
No, you weren't. I'm still here.
Oh, you just didn't reply. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
So I tried to reply. I obviously failed the push to talk test once again.
Yeah, because he disconnected from the game, so I thought, oh, he's gone. Okay. Cool.
Oh no, I'm still here. No, lovely words. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And, same to you, really. It's always great playing against you.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So yeah, that'll be it for this week. I've forgotten the score. It was 17-5. 18-6. It was 12 points in it. Yeah, it's 12 points in it. It was dismal for me. But yeah, so feel free to rinse me in the comments. I will read them through teary eyes, and I'll get cracking with another deck review, because that was shit. I mean, it wasn't. The deck was fine. It was my fault. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Bye.